guys, welcome to my channel. So today I am doing a quick unboxing of this Your Creative Studio subscription box. And I just wanted to show you what was actually in this box. So these boxes are full of stationery, from washi tapes to stamps to stickers to paper. And each month she releases a different theme. This month was kind of like a postal theme or a travel theme, but next month will be something totally different. I love receiving these boxes and being surprised when I open the box to see all of the things that she's put together. Everything in these boxes is not only themed, but they all work well together. They're all pretty vintage looking, so they work really well in my journaling. The items in these boxes are perfect for collaging or just to add a little extra something. There's always some labels in there, which you know I love. So if you're interested in getting your own subscription box, I will put her website in the description box below. And I'm also going to put in a coupon code so that you can get your subscription box for 10% off. I know you're going to love it. Definitely check it out. And I'm going to let the rest of this unboxing play through, and then we will start journaling. Okay, guys, so what I've done is I've pulled several things out of the box. I tried to get one of all of the different types of things out of the box to potentially try to use them on these pages. I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet, but I'm at least going to try. I also had this tag laying around. It was gifted to me at some point, and I really like the idea of using this tag on this particular page because I'm planning on writing about my ancestry, and I've been doing some genealogical work lately. And honestly, I don't have to do too much. My mom's done most of the genealogical work for our family, but it's really interesting. And I wanted to kind of make a record for my own kids so that one day when they want to read mom's journals, they will find something interesting that relates to them, you know? So that's the plan for these pages. What I'm doing right now is I'm cutting out some of these rub-ons, and I'm going to make another acetate pocket, but I'm going to put the rub-ons on the acetate. I've never actually done this before, so I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but it turned out really cool. I know I made an acetate pocket in the last video, and it's a little bit redundant, but this acetate pocket's going to be quite different than the last one, and I think it's a really cool idea, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So after I got all of these rub-ons from the subscription box onto my acetate pocket, there were still some gaps on the pocket that I wanted to fill. So I pulled out my Tim Holtz rub-ons, and I will leave a link to them in the description box below if you're interested in getting some of those. But most of them are just numbers and words and things like that. I think one of them is like field notes or something like that. So I'm using just random words and numbers from those rub-on sets. Just whatever will fit into the gaps and look nice. So there's no real rhyme or reason to what I'm using. But I really love this. I think it worked out really well. And there we go. That's my acetate pocket. I love this so much. So I went ahead and put double-sided tape on 3 sides to make it into a pocket on that page. And I'm going to tuck my very large tag into that pocket. So this is a full-size sticker sheet, and I accidentally touched the paper as I was trying to make sure I had it placed correctly, and it got stuck, so I'm gonna have to pull that up. The easiest way to stick this down to a journal page is to go from edge to edge. So I'm going to start with this outside edge and work my way to the inside of the journal. It just happened to be the perfect size for my journal, except for that tiny little sliver on the inside crease. So I'm going to cover that here in a second. So for that little sliver of white that's still showing through from the page behind the sticker, I'm going to put some washi tape down. This is the washi tape from the subscription box. And I just cut that in half because it was a little wide, and I'm just going to stick that straight down, and nobody will ever know that it wasn't part of the plan. So now I'm cutting some tea-dyed paper. This is just a scrap of tea-dyed paper that I've had laying around forever. And I'm going to stamp these stamps. I love these so much. So I just go ahead and stamp those on the tea-dyed paper. And then I'm going to cut them out with these very cool scissors. These scissors are actually for cutting hair. I am a beauty school dropout and I just happened to have these scissors lying around, and instead of letting them sit around and rust, I decided that I would make them into an art supply. So that is what they've become. If I can find some scissors on Amazon that are similar, that are of good value, I will link them in the description box below. I love these for making stamps. It makes them look like you pulled them out of a stamp book or something. It just gives them a nice rough edge. So I've gone ahead and stamped those, but I'm not going to use them just yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. So I decided to move on to my other page, and my plan is to make a double pocket on this page. So I'm just pulling out some scrap papers. I've got some textured paper here. I've got an old receipt here. And then I'm also going to use a piece of Braille paper, some vintage Braille paper. I love the colors of this pocket. It just happened to work out this way. I didn't even plan ahead for the color schemes or anything. Everything in this box was just the perfect color, and I just happened to have a lot of stuff lying around that would work well with it. So that's what I mean when I say that this box is always just like, it just works with my journaling, because everything looks vintage and it's in that color palette that I like to stick to. So I go ahead and sew up that double pocket, and I'm just deciding what I'm going to put into it. So I decided that I would use this very large receipt, and my plan is to write on that because I do have a good bit of writing that I want to do for this journal spread. And I'm also going to make a little collage tag with some of the other things that were in this subscription box. So I pulled out a piece of old ledger paper here, and I'm also going to use one of the script papers from the subscription box, and I'm just kind of working out what I want to do. These boxes make it really easy to collage. I know I've mentioned that a couple times now, but I'm not great at collaging, and I like that everything in the box that I pull out just happens to work perfectly together. So it makes it really easy for somebody like me that doesn't have the collage gene. I feel like I don't do it right, but it just makes it really easy for me to pull off something pretty. this is a piece of embossed tape. I believe it's Tim Holtz as well. I don't even know if this is still available online, but if it is, I'll link to it in the description box below. But it's kind of like what comes out of those really old labelers, and I love that tape so much, but I always forget to use it because it's stored away in a different location from all of my other art supplies. So I am really proud that I've managed to pull out some of the things that I rarely use, like my rub-ons and this tape, for example. So I decided to go ahead and put one of those little stamps that I stamped earlier on this tag, but I'm going to change that later on because I decided that I liked something else better. But I think that that was nice too. There was nothing wrong with it necessarily. I just decided that I wanted to do something else. So on the front of this pocket, I decided to use this Victorian die cut. It's a real Victorian die cut, but I've had it laying around forever, wanting to use it and just never have. And it just happened to fit perfectly on the front of that pocket. So I just went ahead and glued it down there. This double-sided tape is fantastic. I love this double-sided tape so much. It's really, really thin, probably like 2 millimeters in width, but it's really good if you have something smaller to stick down, or if you need a little bit of space to be able to tuck stuff into the pockets or something, which is why I'm using it here, because I had a really wide receipt that I was putting in that back pocket, and it would have gotten stuck on the double-sided tape when I stuck it in the pocket if I hadn't done it this way. So that's why I'm using this, but I will link to this in the description box below as well, because it is a really good tape to have. You never know you need it until you need it. So here's where I decide to make a little bit of a change. So I'm using one of those stickers from the subscription box, and I'm cutting it out like I did with the stamps earlier. And I've just put that sticker on a scrap piece of receipt, an old vintage receipt. And I just decided that I liked the way that looked a lot better. It kind of pulls in the pink flowers that the lady on that tag has on her blouse or something. So yeah, it didn't make a great, huge change, but I liked that better. So I decided that I wanted to do that. So the last thing I wanted to do is use these stamps. So I'm just going to put one of them behind the tag, just peeking out from the edge of the page. And I'm also going to use another one on the tag itself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this journaling process. Definitely check out the links in the description box below to get your own Your Creative Studio subscription box. Amanda is the owner. She is wonderful. She is a great person to support. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.